2022 Tour, where on the Hautacam stage, he was dropped in like he was in the Giro at the right time, at the right moment, and then absolutely just smashed out the watts. And I don't think UAE are going to be letting him in a breakaway anytime soon. So what's his role going to be? He is, yeah, you've said that he's kind of the rider that UAE can't really match up against, and no one's as good as him in their team compared to him.
Yeah, he's really the jack of all trades, isn't he, at the moment? Perhaps he's lost a little bit of his kind of savagery in his attacking and his potency of victories, perhaps, over the last year since that bad crash in the, well, in the
Which crash?
of Vuelta.
He's had a lot of
Yeah,
bad luck, to be honest.
exactly. You summarize it pretty nicely there, but I doubt UE, like you say, will let him into the break. At the end of the day, he was the one who really, made it all fall apart for Del Toro, and I don't think UAE will make that same mistake twice. So I think our first week he's going to be helping, but maybe I think he might get in a breakaway. At the end of the day, they can't control every break. It might be easy just to put a man up there with Wout van Aert and just, try and do something that way, have a satellite rider with their satellite rider rather than trying to control Wout van Aert all the time. It's like, trying to keep a jack in the box. I'm just looking at any of the mountain stages that could be good. Like, could he be helpful on stage 14 over the Tourmalet, or could he be good on stage 18 if he can get over the Glandon and the Madeleine before the Col de la Loze, or stage 19 if he can make it over the Col de Cèze or the Comé de Rosanna, possibly. There's multiple occasions where Wout can be useful in this race as a satellite rider, but I don't think he's got the same climbing ability as he did in 2022 to really put the hammer down on the Hautacam, which is back this year, which is going to be good to see. So, I don't think it'll be exactly the same. I don't think you're going to be seeing Wout putting down that sort of pace on the Hautacam. I hope I do. I hope I'm wrong for the Wout lovers out there, but I just don't see it this year.
Yeah, and I think green jersey aspirations are probably not on the table either. And but yeah, we've kind of been dropping hints of it. How does Jonas Vingegaard win the 2025 Tour? We talked a bit about using Wout, but Vingegaard, as we saw at the Dauphiné, was definitely a league below where Pogačar is right now, the world champion. Visma Lease Bike will for sure be hoping that Tadej Pogacar is just burning himself out with that long calendar he had last year as well, doing the Giro Tour and World Championships Triple Crown, and then having a heavy classic season. And then, yeah, that was kind of flagged up everywhere on social media in the time trial that, Pogacar's burned out. And it's kind of like, well, not really. So, how are they going to defeat the monster, the rainbow jersey monster?
The good question.
Visma listening to this to try and get ideas.
Oh gosh, it's just so hard to say. Where like you might, okay, let's put our optimism cap on.
Good luck.
You gotta. The thing is, you gotta take the race to Pogačar as much as you can. Like, at the end of the day, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, stuff can go wrong. He can get caught out in an echelon in a split. He can have a crash. Not saying that they want that to happen, but you have to race for the win. You can't racing for second place. So this first week, I think you're going to be seeing a very aggressive Pogačar, and you just got to cover him as best as you can. You're going to lose seconds, like from bonus seconds mainly. I think Jonas is punchy enough to hold Pogačar's wheel in these shorter efforts now, which used to be deemed as his weakness, but I don't actually think that's a weakness of Jonas's anymore. So I think you're gonna expect to lose maybe 15 to 20 seconds maybe in that first week from bonus seconds. In terms of a TT, I don't know. Jonas put 20 seconds into Pogačar in the Dauphiné TT. It did have a climb in there. Maybe a flatter TT is more suited to Poggy, but I think they're pretty much level in the TTs, especially one as flat as this. I think Pogačar did put time into Jonas in the TT last year, if I remember correctly, the one in the first week or so. I don't think it was much time though. It might have been 10 seconds. So I think over 33Ks, you might see, 20 seconds either way for either of them. But, that could mean that Jonas is a minute down or 40 seconds down, let's say, by stage 7, stage 8, whatever. So you're really looking towards the last, from stage 12 onwards, I would say, is the main mountains. You got the Hautacam, the uphill TT, See, Jonas did absolutely shred Pogacar in the 2023 Tour de France, where he just absolutely kind of demolished Poggi and Metal TT, all those doping allegations. But we're just going to glide past that kind of discussion point. And yeah, he could put something in there. You just don't know. There's plenty of big mountain days where he does seem to do fare a little bit better. So you've got plenty of those. Stage 14, for example. I mean, Mont Ventoux be an interesting one to see how they do there. Stage 18, a big altitude day. God, that's got 5,800 meters of climbing in that day. Holy moly. Stage 19, again, another just sub 5,000 meter climbing day. I think there are opportunities for Jonas to try and put pressure on him, but I like it. It's so hard to really kind of provide some spirited encouragement for this side of the argument when you see what happened in the Dauphiné, where Pogacar looked like he wasn't even like going full gas at times. Like he looked like he was actually reining it in at points where Jonas was going absolutely full. But like I said at the start, you got to go in with the attitude of we are here to win this. Something might go wrong for Poggy, and we need to be there to, try and pick up the pieces and pick up the scraps where we can. If you go with the attitude of, okay, how are we going to limit time to Poggy? Well, then you're just going to end up in second place anyway. So you may as well give it some beans, as they'd say up north, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree with that. They definitely have to come with it and be aggressive and try and do something, not just be passive. And I think the Giro does show that they will try and do something. Vingegaard apparently said to Danish TV that he didn't quite like the tactics that the team were doing in the Dauphiné. So, I mean, they're trying. So, yeah, they'll have to use their resources that they have. And Wout van Aert certainly very strong. Matteo Jorgensen, Yates. So, yeah, they should almost hire in some of the strategists from F1. They seem to be very on it sometimes. We might as well finish with predictions. Patrick, is he going to win? And how many stages?
I think that he. I don't. I don't think he'll win.
Oh,
I don't. I
you
know
just broke all of
it's
Denmark's hearts there.
I know. But will he win a stage? I do think he will. I mean, he won a stage last year when people didn't really expect him to, considering that Poggy was kind of dishing it out to him all the time, and he still got that stage win against all odds. So I think he will get a win somewhere in that. I think there will be that silver lining.
You put me in a hard position now because now I have to say yes, and normally I try and say no because then it.
Uh,
But it didn't work last year, so I'll say yes, and it won't work. It won't work definitely. I think he's going to take two stages, maybe the Mont Ventoux stage. That would be quite epic.